Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Family Home Podcast with Courtney and Michael Adamo. This is a short mini series to accompany our new book, The Family Home, which launches this September 2025 and is already available to order. We'll put a link in the show notes for the book so you can take a look. And so we have decided to create a podcast to kind of dive deeper into a lot of the themes that we cover in the book, and we'll be bringing on some interesting people to chat with us, and we're excited to explore a lot of the topics that we wrote about.
Yeah, and we wanted to use this intro to talk about a few things like why we wrote the book in the first place. We spent the last 20 years raising 5 kids across a couple of countries and with lots of periods living abroad. And we've lived everywhere from big cities like London to small rural towns like our current location in rural Australia. And we've been inspired over years by all of the family homes that we visited in different countries. And we found that our favorite ones were the ones that were the most thoughtful and intentional. Not necessarily the most beautiful, although there were many beautiful homes.
Yeah.
And we love that too. So we thought that we would write a book that had sort of brought together all the ideas that made those homes really special and that have inspired us in the way that we have designed our home for our family.
Yeah, and I think it's about design, but it's also about functionality of your home and, living with, every home has its challenges or, limitations. And so it's not so much about the design of your home, but a lot about the intention that you have in living there and, the layout that you decide for your spaces and kind of the rituals that you make, that you prioritize in those spaces and sort of what you
how you create connection and interaction and, create a real feeling for your children and yourselves in the space.
Yeah, I mean, we currently live in a relatively small home with 5 children, and we've had to learn how to kind of make the most of this smallish space. And, a lot of that comes down to prioritizing spaces, children sharing rooms, how to make the most of the space that we have. So we share a lot of these themes in the book, and we'll be exploring more of this here in this podcast too.
We photographed 24 homes across 3 continents for the book, really inspiring family homes. But we didn't organize the book around the homes. We organized it around the themes or the ideas behind their homes that have made them really joyful and inspiring homes.
If you look at a lot of books that cover homes, whether they're design or decoration or, other coffee table type of books, most of those books will go by homes. They'll feature home by home, or they'll go by room. Mm-hmm. And we really instead wanted to prioritize these kind of deeper family themes, like how to set up your home in ways that helps your family spend more time together. How can your home help you actually slow down and connect more? How can you encourage more independence in your children? There's lots of great ideas for ways to do that. How can you invite more play into your lives? How can you have toys throughout your home without it looking like, a daycare center with toys everywhere? Or, how can you thoughtfully do those things, invite more play and
there's also practical things.
Yes.
Organizing your home and how to make the most of small spaces, how to live more sustainably in your home.
Yeah, we've written those practical chapters. The one on organizing is something that we get asked all the time. How to get and then stay organized within your home. And so we devoted a chapter to that. And so we cover practical topics as well in the book. And we've got some really great guests coming on to the podcast to share how they, make it work living in a small space, how they've organized their home and what helps them stay organized. And so we're excited to share their insights with you as well.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can back up a little bit and talk more about who we are. We mentioned a little bit that we've lived in different places, but we are the parents of 5 children that range in age from 8 years old to 20 years old, 3 boys and 2 girls. And over the years, we have lived in every, sort of conceivable type of family home. We started out in a 1-bedroom flat in Notting Hill with our first baby. And managed.
It's interesting. It was such a good location and such a cute flat. And actually, we entertained a lot of people in that flat. We'd have dinner parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very practical because it had open plan living, and the kitchen was like so tiny, like the size of like a kitchen you'd find on a small boat. But it allowed for kind of a very social kind of type of gathering. But we had one tiny bedroom, and we managed to get a cot in that bedroom that you kind of had to move to get into the closet. So anyway,
which wasn't a closet, it was just a bar, and
it's like an enclave of a room. Anyway, we've lived in that 1-bedroom flat in Notting Hill. We lived in a 2-bedroom flat off Hampstead Heath with our 2 children.
Yeah.
We renovated and lived in a Victorian terraced home in Highgate, which we have many fond memories of being in. We have lived in a camper van for 2 months as we traveled around New Zealand.
With 4 children.
Ages
10 to 2.
Yeah. We spent a month in Chile on our travels, living in a tiny little beach shack.
Yeah, I mean, lots of different varieties.
Different types of homes over the years. And of course, now we live in a 120-something-year-old home in Bangalore, which is a small town in the hinterland of Byron Bay, which is on the east coast of Australia. So lots of different types of homes. We've also renovated lots of homes and yeah. And so I guess whenever you do that, you're forced to kind of examine what priorities you have in your family and what spaces are important to you. And so we've done a lot of thinking whenever we've done those projects as well. And so we've written a book to share all that we've learned. And, we talk a lot about family life. We share a lot of our personal experience in this book and what's worked for us and what hasn't, and some of the lessons we've learned. And so the book it's filled with inspiration. I mean, as Michael said, we visited more than 20 homes. I think there's 24 in total. And so it's filled with inspiring images of really thoughtful homes, and lots of tips. There's lots of breakout sections within each chapter where we share really great tips. We get kind of specific on things. And then we share a lot of our experiences, like I said, and a lot of the lessons that we've learned. And we're excited.
The things we've learned from other families have created really joyful family homes. And also the things we learned from photographing some of these homes, the different ideas and inspiration in the homes that we visited.
One of the homes that we visited are actually really good friends of ours. So that was really wonderful for us as well. We got to go to Los Angeles and to London, places where we have lived personally. And we visited friends' homes. And it's a real pleasure to be able to include those in this book. It feels very personal to us. And inspiring, I think, to hopefully to you guys. So this podcast that we're creating is to accompany this book and to go kind of deeper on some of the topics that we cover in the book, and obviously to bring on experts and other people who've thoughtfully created their own homes. And we're going to be asking them about the intentions behind their choices and decisions within their homes. And kind of each podcast, we're going to bring on a guest and explore a certain topic with them.
Yeah, one of the topics from the book, or one of the themes from the book. Yeah. So as a listener, you can expect it to be short, informational, and
we wanted to keep the
entertaining, we hope.
Yeah. As a busy mother, I knew that we needed to keep these episodes short, so we're hoping to keep them to 30 minutes or less. which is hopefully the perfect amount of time to listen as you're, doing the school run or walking the dog or folding the laundry in the evening, or, it's hopefully kind of short enough that you can listen to a full episode as you do those things.
Yeah, and we're speaking to families or parents in California, in London. We have our friends in Spain who have been traveling for 8 years or more with their family. They're a nomadic family.
Yeah.
So there's lots of variety and lots of interesting ideas.
Yeah. And so whether you are new parents or you have teenagers like we do, we really hope that this book and the podcast series brings you inspiration and ideas for just creating a home with intention, one that allows for more joy and connection within your family.
And if you like the podcast, we think you'll love the book and we hope you'll order it. And like we said before, we've left a link in the show notes to order it. It's available now, and we're really happy that you're listening. So thank you.
Thanks for being here, and we're excited for this little journey of ours. First podcast we've ever done.
And first book.
Yeah, and our first book. So thanks so much for being here, and I'm excited to share more.